We're going to look at one more riff in this class, and that is the one that appears in Layla by the band Derek And The Dominos, who, let's be fair, are probably best known for the guitarist Eric Clapton. Phenomenal talent. Gotta be honest, weren't someone who necessarily inspired me when I was younger, but man, you gotta have respect for people that can do things like he can on their instrument. Incredible. And this riff is great for bringing together a lot of the exercises that we've worked on. It's going to use our finger strength, our stretching capabilities, our independence, and what we were just working on, the bends. Right, let's break that riff down. We start on the 10th fret of the B string, and we hammer our little finger onto the 13th fret of the B. And we can use our second and third finger to help us bring that strength down of the little finger so we get more impact and everything's nice and stable. And then we go to the 10th fret of the E, and we do a hammer on again to the 13th fret, but this time there's a pull off as well. So we've gone from our B string, hammer down, to our E string, hammer down and pull off. And then we go back to that 13th fret of the B and back to the 10th fret of the E. It's a very quick note, that 13th fret of the B, when it comes back. Almost a passing note. And we've got our first big bend. And it's bending that 13th fret of the E up so it becomes a G note. And then once we've done the bend, we bring it back down and play that same fret again. Excellent. And then we go to the 12th fret of the E, 13th fret of the B, up to the 15th fret of the B. Sometimes you'll see that as a slide. Sometimes you see people play that D note here on the 10th fret of the E, but we're going to go 12th from the E, 13th from the B, up to the 15th from the B. I did it as a slide there, that last note. This time I'll pluck the string as well. Lovely. Now we repeat most of that first phrase again. We do the hammer on from the 10th to the 13th from the B, and the next bit, the E. But this time the bend happens here on the 15th fret of the E. And once we've bent it up, we come back down and we play the note without the bend as well. And then we go back to that 12th of the E, back to the 13th of the B, up to the 15th of the B. So that second half of that riff with that higher bend. And again, that last note, that 13th to 15th, you might see Clapton or other people slide it. That second half of the higher bend. Excellent. So all together. And then he does the first half again. And the second half. But this time, instead of sliding up to the 15th, it just does a little half step bend. Because that is the note that is needed to fit the key of music that occurs after that lead riff. So all together with that half step bend at the end. Higher bend, back to the beginning, second half, half step. then into the rest of the music. Cheers for checking out this video. I just want to quickly say that the lesson is actually taken from a much larger course that you can access by clicking the link in the description. If you like what you see, please think about giving us a like and a subscribe. If you want to delve a bit further, then check those links in the description. Let's jump into the video. It's one of those riffs that when you play it slow, it almost sounds a bit odd, that hammer on, and you're kind of missing the fluidity. Once you speed it up to more of its normal tempo, then you'll start to really hear and feel the vibe of it. But don't get there too quick. Like always, slow that down, play it nice and steady, gradually build the pace. I'll also point out that you might see Clapton and other guitarists play that hammer on to the 13th fret with a third finger, because you are then ready to do that bend with the third finger, because we wasn't doing it with the little. And it's all those little nuances that make people's guitar playing, like we spoke about a lot in this class, a lot smoother. So see what works best for you. I think it's quite good to get that little finger stronger and practicing that hammer on with the first and little. But if that's too tricky, just go to that third. I mean, one of the best guitarists in the world does it like that. Where we've been working on these little exercises about strengthening and stretching and independence, I thought it was quite cool, because you will see some guitarists as well do it like that with the little finger. But man, there's nothing wrong with going. So yeah, do it that way if you want to. Everything else will stay the same. It's just the third finger replaces the little finger. So those hammer-ons and pull-offs on the 13th fret would be with your third. Also, another little thing to point out, to make it even smoother, I think when you come back off of the... and you go back to this 13th fret here, it's almost like that note isn't plucked, it's hammered on again, but without the addition of hitting the string. See what I'm doing there? That little finger goes back up to the B string, the 10th fret is still pushed down with the first, but the little finger just hammers onto it. It's a really subtle little note, and I think that makes everything sound a little bit cleaner. If you try and pluck the note, it works, but it maybe sometimes gets a little bit jumpy, especially if you're just starting to learn this riff. So bear that in mind as well. You might want to tweak it in that way. And that slide as well, from that 13th up to that 15th, another little thing, rather than going, you don't need to pluck that string, you could just, again, really nice smooth transition. So play around with it, see what works best for yourself, but also check out a few Clapton videos, because you'll learn a thing or two from that. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please think about giving us a little like and a subscribe. And if you want to go further, remember you can hit those links in the description and you'll get access to the full courses. I hope you're feeling confident and creative, and I'll hopefully see you in one of the larger courses one day. Or for now, just have a little scout around on the YouTube channel and see what else you can find. Take care.